Welcome back to Katawa.
Now I can say, I'm Eric.
I am Travis.
And that's
This is most likely the final episode.
Oh no. What are we going to do with ourselves?
I don't know. Let's not think about that now. Let's just get through this without crying.
Okay. So that's it.
I'm crying.
I had my chance to correct my mistake, and I blew it. Whether I was at fault for neglecting my medication and disregarding to pace myself, or my body was for giving out so soon, it doesn't matter now. All that matters is that, once again, I'm alone. The pastel blue pillow yields with little resistance as I let myself fall back onto the bed. Its starchy case, along with the starchy sheets, provide little comfort. It just lets out a squeak, I'm here for you. Compared to the darkness of last night's events, the bright light of the room around me is striking. All it does, though, is emphasize how otherworldly places like this are. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign, alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal.
How fitting that, we skipped all the hospital stuff and all the other routes other than the first one because we'd already done it. So, the fact that we end with this route and it ends in the hospital.
Right. Just come full circle with everything.
It's crazy. We didn't plan this.
No. It was a miracle that you were able to go on so long without anything happening, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
How boring are you that it never happened?
And then it did. My condition had taken away everything. My old school was of no importance anymore. My home was reduced to a faraway place. Both my friends and my first love simply stopped visiting after a length of time. I became cynical and embittered, distant and subdued. In my defense, no person could avoid that after such a thing happening to them, but nonetheless I left the hospital as a very definitely changed person. Things changed. I made new friends in Hanako, Shizune, and Misha. I found a new sense of home in my dormitory, a new interest in science and the world around me. And I found a direction to my life that I had never felt before.
Plus, they had a pool there.
I heard. I never actually found it.
Right. We got to bring up the old jokes.
But I'd also discovered other things.
The 2-year-old jokes.
But I'd also discovered other things. That there were no menus at the Shanghai. The sense of isolation in Yamaku and its surrounds was not entirely unwelcome. The quiet, giving a peace of mind, I might not have found elsewhere. But it gave the area a feeling of being pushed out of the way, of being kept out of sight. People in the streets would sometimes glance awkwardly or quickly turn their heads as they realized they were staring. Even if my condition wasn't visible, my uniform was. Even if it weren't, I was still different. I took 17 pills a day, morning, midday, and night.
Except those thousands of times I forgot.
My scar, though hidden behind clothing, was still a permanent mark of my condition. And most of all, there was the very real possibility of death. A bad fall, an absent-minded hard hit on the back, a simple sprint taken too far. Anything could have set my heart off, and several times I teetered on the edge of the abyss, even with all the care I took of myself. But that was fine. I could have lived with all that, dying, and all. Because there was one final thing I'd found, or rather, refound, after entering Yamaku, which was once again snatched away before my eyes. It's only now that I realize just how delicate my newfound sense of happiness was. Everything depended on her, the linchpin of my life since I first entered Yamaku as a sullen, confused, and aimless transfer student. Lilly Sato was the one person I could depend upon above all others, and who reciprocated the love that I felt for her. And she was like the 5th girl to do so.
Right, it's semantics.
But I failed her, and only realized it all too late. I thought that I could just let my I could just set my life up and continue that way forever. But the real world doesn't work like that. I finally realized the meaning of those words, only to be struck down as I confronted my failure to do so in time.
Also fitting, I just punched the desk and dropped the
Your
pen.
Ellipsis. The surroundings I'm in now are all too familiar. It's as if Yamaku was but a dream, and I'm still recovering from my first major heart attack. Maybe I am. Maybe that's why I feel so tired. It feels almost as if I'd lived the entire last few months of my life in the space of minutes.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. And slept. The weight of my eyelids closes my eyes, my physical and mental exhaustion letting me offer no resistance. Unintelligible mumbling from ahead of the bed stirs me out of my sleep.
Think we can take his organs yet?
With my eyes still closed, I can focus and make out someone, presumably a nurse, bidding farewell to a doctor. Is it my nurse from Yamaku?
It's Yuko.
I work here too! As I open my eyes, I notice the door closing in my peripheral vision. The doctor stands, reading some notes off a clipboard held in his hand, carefully looking over the pages. After consulting his obviously very important documents, he looks up and notices my gaze. It's now that I notice something slightly odd about his expression and general disposition, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh, I see you're awake, Mr. Nakai.
Oh no!
We need
Dr. Acula!
I'm gonna need a blood sample.
His quick glance to my bed end to verify my name shows that his documents obviously didn't have it written on them.
I must admit, this is a bit unfortunate. Your parents visited just earlier, while you were asleep. I could notify them you are awake now, if you'd like.
Thanks. That would be good. I give a somewhat dazed reply. Most likely the one he'd expect, but before really thinking about what I'm saying.
Not a problem. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, I'll be happy to answer them. That is, unless you'd prefer to rest. The anesthetic's still going to be affecting you a bit, I'm afraid.
The anesthetic, of course. That'd be why I felt so strange the first time I woke up. I slowly shake my head, not wanting to dislodge any pipes or cause myself any more discomfort than necessary. The doctor politely puts down his clipboard in response. I guess my main question is, what exactly happened?
To put it simply, you've unfortunately had another heart attack. While not as severe as your first, you were very lucky it occurred so close to a hospital. After being stabilized, you were taken to the operating room. What followed was keyhole surgery in order to insert a temporary pacemaker. All in all, the incident happened 2 days ago.
No.
With emergency treatment
Let's count them. Points at a calendar.
being carried out very soon afterward. Since then, we've kept you under close observation while you were asleep.
Will I be alright? Are there any lasting problems?
Compared to the procedure carried out for your first heart attack, this was relatively minor. While you will have to undergo surgery once more in a few days. Days' time to remove the pacemaker, assuming there are no complications. There should be no lasting implications.
He continues talking, the subject shifting to a repetition of facts about arrhythmia and my medications that I already know for the most part. I mean, you do that in your monologues, so I don't want to hear any of that.
Right.
I start to nod and feign interest while my mind drifts.
I'm not about to do an entire monologue as Dr. Acula.
I begin to think about how perfectly hung the inoffensive painting hanging on the wall behind his shoulder is, and how neat and sterile the surroundings are, even including the doctor himself. I wonder how perfectly hung he is.
Is that the Grim Reaper or is that Bigfoot playing golf? If my mumbling bores you...
Frog.
Right. You are quite welcome to say so, Mr. Nakai. Lord knows I lose track of myself sometimes.
I might get a little batty, you might say. He gives a short chuckle at his self-deprecating joke as I grimace awkwardly, having been rather badly caught out. The doctor's chuckle sounds different from that of the nurse at Yamaku, though. Probably because they're different people.
All adults aren't the same person. Crazy.
As I ponder why, I realize why the man in front of me feels just that little bit off.
You're not a doctor at all. Where am I?
His smile is neat and sterile. He delivers his little joke perfectly with a customary inoffensive chuckle. He has 2 big fangs. It is like, rather than talking to the man whose name is neatly printed on the name tag pinned to his lab coat, I'm merely interacting with an actor reading off a pre-rehearsed script. Every action having been choreographed beforehand. My whole life is a lie. It's the Truman Show.
I was about to say.
I suppose he has to be this way, though, being a doctor.
It's almost like there's tens of people watching my every move.
He has to keep his neat and sterile smile when chatting to the girl with cancer slowly spreading through her body, when reassuring the woman who will surely die from childbirth, and with every other terminally and critically ill patient. That little bit of distance, that little bit of aloofness, it makes me wonder if I've been too harsh, especially considering it's a disposition far from being adopted only by people in his profession. After all, the one I loved kept that same distance from others herself. Looking up to the doctor again, I realize I've been in thought with my head bowed for some time.
I understand you must still be tired. You've been through a lot, and as I mentioned before, the anesthetic would still be affecting you. If you don't mind, I'll let you get some rest and tell your parents who've woken up for you.
I think that would be good. Thank you. He gives a curt nod before picking up his clipboard and making his way to the large white door in the corner of the room, closing it behind him with a thud. I said no garlic bread. In the end, I'm alone again. Lily's gone. Akira's gone. Hanako would be traveling, and even my parents have already left the hospital. 4 pale peach walls, 1 white ceiling, and a single open window to look out towards the world outside. Don't forget me.
Can't open
pillow.
windows. You can't open windows in a hospital.
It's hard now to think of the future when the past is crowded around you, claustrophobic in its neat, sterile, starchy, bleach-smelling grip. Lost for what to do or focus on, I content myself with sleeping the time away as if this were all just another dream like Yamaku had been. White.
The end.
A sterile, clean white for a sterile, clean room. My eyes open and I simply stare at the ceiling for some time. It's about as interesting as the television would be, mounted in its metal rack hanging off the ceiling above the head of the bed. So stupid and boring. Indeed, the television saw its entire use during the time my parents were here, left on quietly as they waited for me to wake. It was about as banal as it had been the first time I'd ended up in the hospital. Earlier today, an attending nurse had offered to turn off the EKG's speakers. I refused simply because the sound is so entirely normal to me now. It's almost comforting in a way. The metronome-like regularity gives at least some feeling that time is moving, even in a place such as this. After some time of listening to its beeping, while I finally awaken, though, I realize there's another sound in the room. Yay! Concentrating all my efforts on listening, a task made rather easy by the lack of distractions, a tiny, tinny melody can be heard. Light and quiet. The music sounds almost fragile as it's dwarfed by the EKG's pulses. Tilting my head just slightly to the side in an effort to see the source of the melody without dislodging any of the sensors and pipes stuck onto me, I notice a little wooden box sitting on the nightstand next to the bed. It's the music box.
Mm-hmm.
My mouth opens just slightly while I silently watch the tiny yellow metal drum slowly rotate inside, the little bumps on its surface gradually moving in and out of sight. The music box. It's the one I gave.
Hanako?
Wait, who did I give it to? The creaking of the door breaks me out of my reverie. That music box going to town.
Wow, it's going nuts.
My head and heart remaining still as my eyes turn to see who comes through. Long tan skirt, peach off the shoulder sweater, pale almost porcelain skin, blue clouded eyes and long yellow hair.
Yuko.
It's Farrah Fawcett. Oh.
Oh.
All I can do is stare as Lily slowly walks into the room, her fingers slightly running over the wall for orientation, and my mind comes to a shuddering halt.
Beep.
Lily? She stops mid-stride, her entire body tensing.
Hisao, was that you?
Her voice is quiet and pensive, echoing her expression. I thought you were... Lily takes one tentative step forward, then another, as if she were holding herself back. Yeah, don't jump on me. I have things in me. Her control over her composure is for naught, though, and she finally rushes over to where I lay as the rest of her resistance falls.
I'm trying to get things in me.
I'm slightly taken aback when she grabs hold of me, hunching over as her tears begin to fall from her cheeks. Since only minutes ago I thought she was on the other side of the world. After a moment of hesitation, I rest my right hand on her soft shoulder. You need to close that music box.
Hisao, Hisao.
That's me, baby. You called it. You had to die to get her note.
Yeah.
Lily's body trembles as her tears blot the pale green sheets, her emotions flooding through her carefully maintained exterior.
I mean, at least you realized beforehand that it was like, no, I need to get her back and all that. You just kind of failed.
Right. With her face now closer and made easier to see for her pale skin being lit by the sunlight from the window, I notice her cheeks being redder than they should be.
Are you drunk?
Get away from me. It's okay, Lily. I'm okay. You don't need to... She rights herself quickly, her crying forcefully stifled with both sadness and stubbornness remaining in her moistened eyes. Her prideful nature, always having been something to contend with, takes me off guard. She looks very angry.
Stop telling me not to worry about you, Hisao. Just this once, let me cry.
She's got sonic mouth.
Yeah.
I'm caught speechless. She waits for a response, but her composure breaks again after a handful of seconds. I swallow hard to try and settle my own emotions while she weeps onto my bed, a strange mixture of relief and depression welling up. Your parents walk in. Well, hello, what's this?
Yeah. Another one?
Lily's here. She's really here. If I couldn't feel her skin under my hand, I'd hardly believe my own eyes. My efforts weren't for nothing. My body's attempt to take away everything that was important to me once again has been foiled. Take that, heart.
CG almost looks like it's her crying over the fact that you are now blind. Because you're, like, not looking at her and you're not interacting or...
No, you seem pretty distant.
You're just, like, staring off into space.
But now, I don't feel as happy about it as I thought I would. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Seeing her...
Now that I have her, I don't want her.
You know what? Seeing her here, crying like this over me, this is the one thing I'd wanted to avoid since coming to love her. No, ever since leaving the hospital. I'm sorry, Lily. It's my fault I'm here. I shouldn't have tried to push myself so far. I give a self-deprecating snort. After months of keeping myself together so nobody'd worried over me, I went and did something like this. I guess I'm pretty dumb. With a couple of sniffs and a long breath, Lily manages to pull herself together and calm down a little. Despite her red cheeks, moist eyes, and the lines of her tears still visible, she delicately wears that weak smile she seems to so often give.
You needn't blame yourself. I heard later that it happened as you were running down the road after me, right? Oh, we were in the road? I thought we had made it into the airport.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they hadn't gotten to the airport yet.
That CG looked like it was inside the airport.
Yeah, that's what I thought
too. It was
too.
supposed to be outside of it.
Yeah.
Still. She wipes her eyes with the back of her hand, returning more to her old self as the rush of emotions wears off.
I'm over it. Why'd you run after me, Hisao?
I move to respond, but notice her face tightening.
Even after I'd said goodbye, and I'd left Yamaku Academy.
She takes a moment to steady herself, her emotions almost bubbling up once again. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm still leaving. For the times when I wasn't there when you needed me. Until now, I thought you just being there would be enough. I only needed you by my side to make any day feel better. Even if my body may be like this, I want to help you, Lily, to be there when you need someone.
But you always were there, Hisao.
Why did you want to go to Scotland, Lily? I mean, Scotland's dumb.
Why? I told you before. Because Akira was going, and because of my family's summons to their home.
Oh, so we're just going to do everything Akira does? Why didn't you say that you wanted to go? I'm not stubborn often, but this one time, I think I need to be. I want you to stay here, Lily. I want you to stay where everybody you know lives, where everybody knows your name, and where all your dreams and ambitions were made. If you choose to stay, I'll never leave your side. I won't let you lose another person.
But if you go, I'm definitely not coming with you, no matter what.
When I had my heart attack, I was snatched away from everyone and everywhere I knew. You showed me a new life after I came to Yamaku. I had lost my past, but you showed me a future. It's true that I haven't always been there for you. I'm unreliable. Sometimes I lied, and I thought I'd come to understand you when I hadn't even understood myself. Be that as it may, I want to give you a future as well. I want to be there for you, because you're there for me too, to share both your burdens and your happiness, just like I promised back in Hokkaido. I want you to trust me. I know I had problems coming to put my trust in you after losing so many people I'd known after my heart attack, but that's how I know that being unable to trust others can feel awful. That's why I can't watch you just throw everything away like this. I never want you to go through what I did. I would do anything to stop that.
You can be quite steadfast when you want to be, can't you?
I sure can. As I said, it isn't often. My weak smile drops, though, as the IV in my arm digs in a little. It's a harsh reminder of my tether to my condition. Lily's face tenses as I let out a small gasp of pain, immediately making me wish I'd stifled it better. All I can do is sigh in defeat. I tried not to let anyone worry over me for the entire time since I left the hospital, but I can't even stop the one person I love most from crying over me. I'm such a loser.
God!
Even if I might finally be able to put my feelings into words, I feel pretty useless with a body like this. Every time I tried to reach towards something, it was just snatched away, and even now, things only turned out for the better due to luck. I guess that's something else I should apologize for. All I can ever do is make you worry. Even now, there's very little chance I'll live anywhere near a full life. The feeling of Lily's warm, soft hand moving over my left cheek makes me lift my head up, her smile gentle and warm as she touches me.
I think that is something very natural for you to say. You are always so sincere and self-conscious. You are also reserved and mild-mannered, and patient to a fault with Hanako, yet curious about everything and everyone. When I said I missed you while I was with my family, I wasn't lying or exaggerating. The thought of you was never far from my mind and helped me through that time. That's why I was so confused about what to do when my family summoned me. Even after I thought I had made my decision, you tried your hardest to challenge me about it. I didn't confess to you out of pity or believing you were somehow different from what you are. I confessed because I never want to lose you, and want you to always be a part of my life, no matter what might change. You are a very beautiful person, Hisao. Your heart changes none of that, so please, don't apologize for yourself anymore.
For a long time, silence reigns in the room. We're not really making a lot of jokes.
No, I mean,
It's just
this episode's already gone on for
a very
20-something minutes,
Yeah.
but it's like, this has got to be the end, and
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm just kind of taking it all in at this point. Sorry.
I'm not really sure what this newly born feeling inside of me is, but it pales into insignificance as I wordlessly gaze at Lily's smiling face, warm and gentle as it has always been. It's only as her thumb crosses my cheek, wiping away a single drop of moisture,
Got your nose.
that I realize this is all I've ever wanted. For what feels like the first time, I give an earnest, wide smile. As Lily feels it against her palm, she returns the gesture. More time passes before either of us says a word, neither of us needing speech to communicate our feelings to each other. I know I can't promise you that I'll always be around, or that we'll be together forever. With some difficulty, I slowly lift my hand, placing it on her pale shoulder. I keep pointing out that she has pale skin.
Yeah.
But I think you need to tan a little. I think I can at least take you to next year's Tanabata festival to make up for making you miss this year's. Lily's expression is one of surprise, though I can't say I blame her.
You remembered that.
I've got a pretty good memory sometimes. It wasn't that long ago. She raises her head a little and takes her hand from my cheek, giving a small amused giggle. I smile absentmindedly at how earnest it is, almost girlish in its lightness.
You're a girl?
Still smiling warmly, she collects herself and stands upright with a hand resting on my chest. Hey, get off my bed. It feels like I'm seeing her for the first time. The sun from the window glowing behind her just as it did when I first walked into that room where she was drinking tea. Remember it?
Very well then. Shall we make it a promise between the both of us to go to next year's Tanabata together?
Even if she can't see me doing so, I nod approvingly. I promise, since you can't see me nodding.
I promise.
Can't you see me nodding? Oh no! That's the
Is
end.
that it?
Yeah.
Yep, that's
We're
it.
going to Tanabata next year. That doesn't clear anything up.
I
Are
mean,
we
you
still
promise
together?
that you're going to survive to next year. Yeah, yeah, they're
are
together.
we still like, is she still going to leave?
No. She's not. Because her thing was she was leaving forever, but now she's definitely not.
Yeah. We've done it.
We have done it.
We beat a game. God, it took like 2.5 years.
Oh my god, we suck at video games. So that was Katawa.
Hooray!
Jesus.
Now what do we do with ourselves?
I don't know. Play another visual novel.
Yeah, okay. We
Yeah.
already have one in mind.
That's true. So, don't think that this is the end. There's lots of other stuff we're going to be doing. Plus, eventually we will come back to this and at least do the DLC, the Miki.
That Summer's Clover thing.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
But
and maybe we'll think about the bad ending things. I don't know.
yeah, we'll see.
Neutral ending things. I mean, after we take a bunch of time away from it, we might
we might want to come back and recap.
We can read the bad endings and neutral endings and stuff, maybe.
Yes.
But yeah, we got it. We got all the girls. Oh, we get something. What's this?
What?
Hold on, we're not done.
Whoa.
We get an epilogue. We ain't done yet. Acura, Lilly, and I silently sit on the grassy embankment high above the local town, the breeze gently blowing through the cloudless sky. Did you go with them to Scotland?
Oh, maybe.
We may be just a few minutes' walk from town on a hill just outside its limits, but the view is entirely unexpected. It's Lilly. Lilly sits beside me, her eyes closed as the gentle breeze flows through her hair.
This is a nice area.
You've got a nice area. Yeah. I never knew a place like this was anywhere near Yamaku. Oh. And I had to be the one to find it, of course.
What the hell are you doing here?
This is as nice as Scotland. We don't need to move. Akira's grin is genuine, but her tone is slightly different from her usual carefree nature. It's good that you're out of the hospital, though, Hisao. Nobody's more glad than I am. I can't stand hospitals. Ba-dum-dum-dum. So, you two going back to the school tomorrow?
Yup.
Yep. Akira chuckles in amusement before looking back out to the town below, the trees between the buildings swaying in the wind. Pity we couldn't go up north for the summer holidays, or get to Tanabata. Did you break your promise?
Oh my god. I wouldn't worry. There's always next time. That was more of a I'm gonna be alive type of thing.
You'll be graduating before the next summer's vacation, won't ya? Yeah, there'll still be college after that. Mind. Going to the same one.
Likely. We both have high enough scores to meet the entry requirements.
You sound so sure, and I'm so stupid.
Don't worry, you're better than I in most subjects.
I guess we'll work it out in due time.
If you just let me cheat off of you.
Yeah. That's the way. I like it. Just enjoy yourselves in Yamaku while you're there. Lilly gives a sad sigh at the distinction made between Akira and the two of us.
Do you really need to go back to Scotland?
Yeah, it's Scotland. The folks are already out for my blood, as it is. I am a vampire, after all. You weren't meant to stay this long? She gives her trademark wide grin. Setting my boyfriend up with a passport took some time.
Aww.
You're taking him with you?
And he's the captain of the track team.
No!
The end. Question mark.
Just for a while at first. He's a surprisingly worldly guy, so I think he'll do just fine.
He's Captain Planet.
Akira gives an amused snort. If our father had his way, I'd have gone a long while ago. I just couldn't pass up an excuse to stay with my favorite little sister a little while longer, though. She leans right and gives Lily a tight, playful hug, cheering her up considerably.
It's nice to be with you one last time, though.
For what it's worth, I'm in the same boat.
And I'm here, too.
Heh. Thanks, you two. I'll try and come back sometime. Don't worry.
It's a shame that the business keeps you so busy.
The place won't run itself, I'm afraid, and I think it's going to be just the same over there. Considering that, I'd better be going. Have fun over there, Akira. Ha, I won't. Will do. With a slight grunt, she lifts herself with her hands and stands up, dusting herself off as she does so. Well, I'd better be off. The plane won't wait for me, after all. Nobody's running after me at the airport. She has a certain unusual wistfulness in the tone of her voice, her eyes firmly planted on her sister.
I'll be okay, Akira.
Yeah, I know.
Come now, it isn't that bad. You'll be able to see us again soon.
It is strange to have Lily reassuring a doubting Akira for once. She really has changed, huh?
Goodbye, Akira.
Bye. Get out of here. For a second, the dark-clad figure looks down at the both of us, smiling widely, perhaps more widely than I'd ever seen her do before. She lets out a long, slightly wavering breath to steady herself before leaving, but eventually slips her hand in her pocket and turns on her heel. And with that, she walks away, one hand held in the air as she goes. See you later, you two. A jazz tune with no beat, melody, or direction to the very end. After a few moments of sitting silently, Lily and I pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off. It's very dusty where we live. Turning towards her with a broad smile, I hold out my hand. Shall we be off then? She takes my hand in hers with a gentle nod and a smile as beautiful and warm as ever.
Indeed we shall, Hisao.
And they float off into the skies. Ah!
Sweater vest!
Yay! Is this the only one that's had like an epilogue? I don't remember.
I think the Hanako one didn't? No, that was just the ending.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Weird to put. I guess they wanted, like, to show some time had passed.
Yeah, that they
has it?
actually are. Yeah,
As
felt weird ending it in a hospital, I guess.
Yeah. As we set off towards the school, that wonderful smile engraves itself onto my memory. That wonderful smile that we both share. Our pasts may be scattered and at times overshadowed by sadness, but they're also an irrevocable part of our lives and personalities. Even if I could change a single thing, I wouldn't, because my past was what led me here. That's why, even with all that's happened to us before and all that may well befall us, together we'll keep walking forwards. Forwards. Towards the future. Our future. Our future together.
Doc Brown comes flying in.
Forward.
We have to go to the future.
Quick,
It's about your kids.
Now we're done with Katawa.
Yeah. But not forever.
Was that fun? Did you have fun? Was that a good 2.5 years we spent together?
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for making Katawa most of the success of our channel.
The thing, yeah, our thing, you know.
Thanks for enjoying it, I guess. It's been very fun.
We will eventually do, like, a chat, like a podcast or something, where we talk about all the routes and the last 2 years and whatnot. And like we said, we will do the DLC eventually. We'll come back to it.
Yes.
Just be patient.
And we're going to do other visual
There
novels.
will be other visual novels.
We already know which one we're going to do next, I think, unless something drastically changes or someone says, no, play this.
Yeah, this one just came out. It's amazing. Yeah. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Love you.
I feel like we should end with a joke. I don't know.
I have a tiny penis.
Hey everyone, this is Eric. I just wanted to thank you guys for watching our Katawa Shoujo playthrough. It's been quite the journey for over the last 2 years, and you guys have made it a big success for us. Made it a lot of fun to do and interact with you guys. Yeah, it's crazy that it's been 2 years that we've been playing this visual novel. But like I said, you guys have made it great. And we enjoy doing the visual novels a lot, so it's something that we're going to continue doing on our channel, have one going at all times. So hopefully you guys enjoy watching those as well. And yeah, thank you for watching us play video games. It's great. Thank you guys very much, and we will see you later. Bye.